Hello and good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. My name is Sandy Newbigging, and if you've never seen me before, if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, I'm a monk, a meditation teacher, and a best-selling author. My most recent book is called Calm Cure, and I like to do these Facebook Lives on my Sandy Newbigging Facebook page to share extracts from my books and then expand upon them, give them extra meaning and extra understanding. So today I was particularly feeling inspired because you know how when you go into Facebook, sometimes they have these Facebook memories. And today's Facebook memory was of a post, a quote from Eckhart Tolle that I shared. Oh, it must be like 3 or 4 years ago, I think it was. I can't remember when it was, but it was a long time ago. And I read the quote, and it really inspired me to come on and share a bit that relates to that quote from my book. And so the quote goes as follows: whatever the present contains, accept it as if you have chosen it. Always work with it, not against it. This will miraculously transform your whole life. And so let me share that quote again, because it's the basis of what I'm going to share from the Calm Cure book today. Whatever the present contains, accept it as if you have chosen it. Always work with it, not against it. This will miraculously transform your whole life. Now, my entire book is ultimately about that. It's about how do we transform our relationship with life so that we can allow our life to transform. It's called The Unexpected Way to Improve Your Health, Life and World, because what I'm suggesting is, instead of only engaging in the fix it, change it, improve it strategy, so if you think something's wrong with your life, you said about fix it, change it, improve it, so it's eventually how you think it should be for you to be happy, secure, loved, or whatever. Instead of adopting that strategy, my perspective is recommending you to learn how to be at peace with your life. Learn how to get peace with your current mind, your current emotions, your current physical body, and your external life and the external world. So how do we get peace with that? How do we coexist calmly with the full spectrum of life possibilities? Well, what I want to talk about today specifically is one principle from chapter 10 of the book. Chapter 10 is on the world. And the tagline for this chapter is how to move from pissed off to proactive. In other words, or scared to secure. But how do we, with all the stuff that's happening in the world, with the economy and politics and poverty and all the 60 million refugees and all this stuff that's happening, how do we get to a point where we can more peacefully coexist with it and use it as opposed to us feeling, a victim to it? And so I wanted to from chapter 10, principle 2, and that principle is called the world exists to elevate you. The world exists to elevate you. Okay, and so is it all right with you if I give me a like or a little heart or something that to let me know that you're happy for me to continue and for me to read a little extract from the book, so I know that you're with me and you want me to continue with this. I'm just talking to a computer screen. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We've got a few hearts coming in. So, for you to be reading this book and make it to chapter 10, which is the final chapter, there's a very high chance that you've come to the conclusion at some point that you really want to experience more calm, clarity, confidence, love, happiness, freedom, or some other positive mental, emotional, or physical state or circumstance. Would that be reasonable, guys? Would you, watching this, could you relate to any of the things I just listed? Would you like to experience more calm, clarity, confidence, love, happiness, freedom, or some other mental, emotional, physical state or circumstance? Does that seem like a reasonable thing to say? While I say that, I want to say hi to Jen and Marion. Hi, Marion. Happy Sunday to you. And Greg. Hi, Greg. And Tracy. Morning. Karen. and John. Awesome. Thanks for tuning in. A line in the sand has been drawn, and you have committed to making positive changes to yourself, your life, and in the world. It's a really good place to be at if you are at a point where you're kind of done with the old way of how you've been being. In certain areas of your life. I'm not saying every area, but certain areas you've drawn a line in the sand, and you're committed to making positive changes to yourself, your life, and in the world. And here's where it gets interesting. The good news is that life is on your side and is currently giving you what you need to achieve your goal. I appreciate it doesn't always look or feel like this is the case. It may seem like the complete opposite. Nonetheless, it is empowering to be open to the possibility that the entire cosmos is conspiring to help you be more loving, peaceful, etc., whatever it might be. And so this is about creating a mindset and an attitude that enables you to benefit from your life as opposed to be bound by it or be brought down by it. How do we actually have an empowered mentality, empowered attitude? Continuing without this attitude, you can accidentally remain a victim of circumstance and end up in a relentless battle with life and the wider world. So continuing without being open to the possibility that the entire cosmos is conspiring to help you to be what it is that you want, you can end up feeling a victim to circumstance and in a relentless battle with life. So what do I mean by that? Well, like we said before, you've drawn a line in the sand. You want to experience more peace. You want to experience more clarity. You want to experience more love. You want to experience more contentment or whatever. Whatever it is that you want, healing your body, improving your finances, helping your relationship heal, whatever it might be, it's much more useful to approach it from the possibility that everything that's happening right now in your world and in your life is actually happening to help you to achieve your goal. The world constantly reflects your resistances and attachments. So if you've never heard this before, you'll know that let me tell you that Calm Cure, chapter 1 is about conflict being the core of problems. Chapter 2, awareness is the heart of healing. But when it comes to conflict, anytime we have a problem, we are in conflict with something. And we have a conflict because we're resisting the reality. We're resisting what's happening or might happen, because we're attached to something else happening instead. Make sense, guys? Give me a heart or a love or something, a like or something, so you're telling me that you get this. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'd much rather you ask than just sit there going, well, he doesn't know my life or whatever. So it's better to ask and then leave with doubt. Having decided, thank you guys, having decided that you want something different, it starts highlighting any unconscious conflicts standing in the way of you experiencing what you want. So I'm going to explain it a bit more in the following words that I'm going to read. But so let me say that again. So you've decided you want more love, and so the world is going to start presenting to you and showing you and bringing you exactly what you need in order to learn how to be more loving. Okay. If you want to heal something, then your body's going to really and ramp up in your life what you need to heal in order to help your body to heal. Okay. If you're struggling financially, then you're going to find it's really ramped up and it's really presenting itself, your conflicts, so that you may heal them. So this is why I'm explaining and why I'm saying that the world exists to elevate you. Explaining this, a meditation teacher friend of mine once said, and that's actually Sata Ishaya, she once said, if I had a big chunk of spinach in my teeth, then I would want someone to tell me. If I had a big chunk of spinach in my teeth, I'd want someone to tell me. In a similar way, you want life to highlight your hidden conflicts so that you can see them, heal them, and let them go. How cool is that? So we're walking around oblivious to it. We're thinking, well, life's just difficult, it's hard, it's being cruel to me or whatever. But the reality is that actually it's just highlighting something within you that if you heal, then that issue will no longer be reflected back. For example, in the quest to love more unconditionally, life will present people that help you to see your conditioned judgments, criticisms, and criteria for love. Can anyone relate to that one? We want to experience more love, but we get really annoying people. But these annoying people are actually our teachers. They are showing up so that we can see stuff that's happening within us, our criticisms, our criteria, our conditions upon what we have been conditioned to believe is lovable. If we stop seeing them as just annoying people, and we start to recognize them as our teachers, they're highlighting to us aspects of our world that we're not willing to love as it is. Doesn't mean you can't invite it to change or whatever, but if you're in conflict with it, you're not loving it. If you want to be more abundant, then you will find yourself in situations that help you to recognize the habits preventing you from being prosperous. Or if you wish to heal a condition, you'll be given events and experiences that highlight any conflicts potentially causing the physical condition. That's really cool. Dawn, you get the point. That's exactly what I'm saying. You just said, Dawn's just said, just turned on Facebook and found this. Universe, I am listening. I am. And that's brilliant because, like, this is an example. If you've just happened across this, if you happen to be on Facebook, you happen to come across this video, or YouTube, or my blog, or whatever, if you come across this video, then take this video as a hint. Don't just reject the video going, wow, you know? Trust that even this video is something that's trying to highlight to you and give you what you want. Through this recognition that life doesn't have a vendetta against you, and by assuming that life is reflecting your resistances and attachments, you gain a more harmonious relationship with what happens, which you've previously learned enables the external world to change. As long as we are in conflict with what's happening, we remain connected to it and we keep recreating it. Okay? So this is why if you actually clear the conflict, life and the world is able to change. Okay, so this is really this is core to many spiritual teachings that have lasted forever. A powerful way to do this is to make a minor change to a common question that often crops up when a person is harboring a victim mentality. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "Why is this happening for me?" Although it's not a drastic change of wording, playing with it myself after it was suggested by my spiritual teacher, I found the difference is dramatic. Exploring why something is happening for you allows you to see the metaphorical spinach in your teeth that you've been oblivious to. You don't even need to find an immediate answer to the question for it to be a benefit. Simply asking, why is this happening for me, as a way of improving your relationship with whatever is showing up. See, the minute you start being curious and going, well, why is this happening for me? You're no longer in such a conflicted state with, or a conflicted place with what's happening, and you're more like, okay, so what is this for? You know, what is this trying to teach me, show me, highlight to me, how is this why is this happening for me? When I first got into this field of work, I was faced with a steady stream of people challenging how young I was. My age continued to prevent me from making a bigger impact until I saw that it was me who believed my age was a disadvantage. When I stopped being in conflict with my youthfulness, nobody questioned it again. Was it a coincidence or magic, or was it because the spiritual teachers weren't lying when they said the outer reflects the inner? Here's a question. If their world is in fact mirroring what's going on inside you, what conflicts are you being invited to be free from and wake up tomorrow without? If the world is in fact mirroring what's going on inside you and happening to help you, what conflicts are you being invited to be free from and wake up tomorrow without? And that's a really, hopefully, a useful question to you. You know, how do you use that? Well, anything you have a problem with in your life right now is actually happening to help you. It might not appear that way, it might not feel that way, but if you play with that possibility, you may find that you start to be open to seeing the gift in the issue that you believe is a problem. Ever since I started adopting this possibility that life is happening for me, not to me, and that the world exists to elevate me, I've been much more fluid with life. I've experienced much more calm, much more clarity. My growth has been on turbo. I feel like I've been turbocharged my inner growth, and I've been willing to see that if I've got a problem with my girlfriend, it's not my girlfriend that's the problem. It's the problem I have with my girlfriend, which is happening on my side of the fence. If I have a problem with my career, then it's not that there's no opportunities or there's nobody wanting to hear this, or I don't get as much promotion as someone else, or whatever, that sort of stuff. That is just our external reflection of an inner something that I'm being invited to see, let go of, and in doing so, heal. I've got some comments coming in, so I thought I might answer them. Marion says, "What if someone is so angry that they don't see that life is helping them, instead of believing life and others are hurting them? Are these people not ready?" Does that make any sense? Yes, it does make sense. It's completely, Marion. And what my answer to that would be, obviously, if they're angry, so angry that there's physical abuse going on, and then they're dangerous to be around, then remove yourself from the situation. But if that's not the case, they're just angry, and you're safe, then what I would say is that's happening in your world for you to be able to see something within you, so that you may learn how to be more compassionate, feel more safe and secure, not look for love on the outside. It's not about just coming to the conclusion, well, they're not ready. It's about you being ready for them to be that way. Okay, it's when you are in that different inner space, you may find naturally you're more calm, naturally you're more connected, naturally you have more compassion, naturally from the stillness and silence from within, as opposed to the reaction in the mind-based ego. From that stillness and silence, you're able to maybe intervene, share something, say something, but it will come from clarity, not from the ego, not from the mind, not from fear, but from clarity and compassion. Hopefully that gives you some help. So remember, don't make it about the other person, is what I'm basically saying. Colette says, it's the wake-up call. Absolutely. Tracy says, I think it's easier to feel a victim and blame than try to see that the universe is actually trying to help you. It's actually easier to have the universe be on your side, but I know what you're saying. It is more common if people are living by the mind and in judgment and in the stress response, then usually it will be more inevitable. But I would say it's easier to live with the universe being a friendly place, and moving with the universe and saying, teach me, show me, awaken me, as opposed to the opposite of that. Tracy says, Sandy, how do you keep the motivation and good thought process going? Motivation, it comes from knowing that comes from the why. So motivation comes from why. Like, why? What do you want more than anything else in your life? Is the question to ask for motivation. So if you had a magic wand and you could have any one thing, what would you ask for? Common answers I receive is usually peace, happiness, love, freedom, connectedness, contentment, oneness, whatever it might be for you. Keep your eye on the ball. Keep your eye on that, making sure that's what you know what you want, and that from knowing what you want, the why, actually helps with the motivation. And how do you keep a good thought process going? It is about knowing the why and having that motivation. It's about engaging in both daily practice and occasional intervention. So for me, I use the Shai Ascension meditation. I also spend a lot of time teaching the calm meditation for the daily practice. So it's a daily practice where you are sitting down to meditate, to not feel peaceful. That's one of the big myths of meditation. You're sitting down to meditate, to practice being at peace with whatever happens. Okay? If you sit down to meditate to have no thoughts and to feel peaceful, you will soon lose motivation, because it probably won't work out that way. You will have thoughts, you'll have emotions, you'll have physical stuff, you'll have noise happening around you, you'll have distractions, you'll have whatever will happen. So you're looking to practice daily, a couple of times with your eyes closed, meditation, and that part of that meditation is to practice being willing to let whatever happens in that 15, 20 minutes happen. That habit you're developing there starts to bleed out into the rest of your life. And you start learning how to not be in conflict with the rest of your day as well. And then you've got the interventions. Obviously, I recommend interventions like mind detox method or calm cure for clearing the conditioning that would cause you to have an unuseful thought process. What you'll find is you want to cultivate awareness in your life, to be self-aware. And self-aware is to be aware of the aspect of yourself that is aware. So that's inside you, there's an awareness that's aware of this moment occurring, and that is still calm, well, and free always. And so you want to be cultivating, first of all, become aware of that again, and then make it a priority to be living as self-aware as often as you can remember to do so. What does that do? Well, you'll find the mind without awareness is rudderless, and it becomes very chaotic, very frantic, very polar, pendulum swinging, and it's hard to have clarity. But when you have the anchor of awareness, you'll find that the thoughts that form are usually based more on wisdom and intuition. They come from a much better level of clarity. And so my answer to you, Tracy, is remember what's most important for you. And it's not selfish to want peace or love or joy for you, because when you have that, you're actually able to help everyone else have it too. You can't give anyone what you aren't experiencing yourself. So give yourself permission to go full-heartedly towards your heart's greatest desire, peace, happiness, love, joy, contentment, or whatever, and be willing to do the occasional intervention along the way, but with the daily practice of some sort of meditation. Marion says, okay, cool, thank you, Sandy. Angry and upset friends, and I want to help them. Yeah, I would love to share my calm and compassion with them. Fantastic. So with the calm cure, you would go in and you would explore what is it about how does my friend being angry like that and appearing not to be ready make me feel? Tune in and explore that. Vulnerable, helpless, out of control, disappointment. Like what is it that actually brings up for you? Then use the calm cure to get peace with your side of the fence, and go from there. Okay, it's very simple, and it works wonders. Okay, guys, so thank you so much for tuning in. If you've enjoyed this video, please like it, because if lots of people like it, more people are likely to watch it. So please do like it, and look at the coming through. It's really nice. Sun rays coming in. I hope you've enjoyed this little morning message, and do check out my Facebook page. Well, you're actually on that. Sorry, I meant to say my YouTube channel. I record these and then I put them up on my YouTube channel. Subscribe on my YouTube channel, please. Thank you very much. And we got a thank you coming from John, and we've got definitely, Tracy, take the advice I've given you. Obviously, keep doing whatever you're doing from medical professionals and stuff, but take that advice, play with it, keep in touch, explore the Calm Clan if you aren't a member yet. Lots of support in there. Great community we've got at calmclan.com, and it can help you to really change that pattern. It doesn't need to be inevitable. Okay, doesn't matter what's happened, even if it's since childhood. You're not a tree. You can change. Okay, and you can be free from it. So just keep going. Okay, this is coming into your life for a reason, and just commit and go for it. Dawn says, it's been great. Can I get to know about your meditation from book, or do I have to subscribe? Yes, I have written a number of books. Check out my Mind Calm book. Currently like £1.99 on Kindle. Special offer at the moment on Amazon if you've got Kindle, or a bargain at a tenner or whatever it is, paperback. Mind Calm would be a good place to start, or Body Calm if you want a meditation and you've also got some body issues going on as well, or both. You might want to get the book. It's the subscription stuff I offer is because I know people tend to need some help along the way. They need momentum. We have these Facebook Lives or whatever, and we get like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. We order the book, and then a week and Tuesday we've already forgotten, and we haven't read even a quarter of the book. The thing with this stuff is it doesn't even, it needs momentum. Okay, it needs momentum. Be aware of that moving forward. I'm not asking you to subscribe to me, but just subscribe to something that gives you momentum and helps you to continue on your journey and not get distracted by busyness and the old habits. And so, the Calm Clan I offer, it's free for your first 30 days, and uh, and you can suss things out there. There's live broadcasts happening every week, where we meditate together. There's workshops that are it's all online. There's loads of videos and guided meditations and stuff all in there. At the back in this book, there's links to loads of videos and guided meditations as well. So there's loads of free stuff out there. It's not, I just want to get this message out there. And so thank you for getting the Kindle today, like you just said. Coletta says, fab insights. Thank you, Sandy. You're very welcome. And so, guys, that's it for today. Went a bit longer than I planned, but hopefully you've enjoyed this session. And yes, John, you enjoy the rest of your day too. Thank you very much. And just know that peace is possible. Love is already existing within you, and you can reconnect with it only ever now. And you just need to know and have the right guidance in order to find out where it is. So keep the faith. Remember that the world exists to elevate you, and anything you have outside yourself, anything that's a problem in the world, is just highlighting something within yourself that you can let go of and heal, so that you can, in the words of Anthony DeMello, learn how to love the world instead of having to change it. So thank you so much, guys. I wish you infinite peace, limitless love, and until we next speak, have a lot of fun playing with the world. Bye for now.